Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss the topic how can teachers support students with different learning needs. I think this is a very relevant topic because every classroom consists of students with different abilities, personalities, learning styles, and educational backgrounds. Some students can understand a lesson very quickly, while others need more time, more practice, or a different way to learning before they fully understand the topic. Nowadays, classrooms are becoming more diverse. Teachers may teach students who are visual learners, auditory learners, kinesthetic learners, gifted students, or even students with learning disabilities such as dyslexia or ADHD. Therefore, using only one teaching method may not be effective for everyone. Before we discuss the strategies, I'd like to ask both of you a question. Do you think it is realistic for one teacher to meet the learning needs of every student in a classroom?
That's an interesting question, Aina. Personally, I think it is quite difficult because teachers often teach large classes with students who have very different abilities. Besides teaching, they also have many other responsibilities such as preparing lesson plans, marking assignments, organizing classroom activities, and handling administrative work. However, even though it's challenging, I don't think it's impossible. Teachers don't have to create completely different lesson for every student. Instead, they can make small adjustments that benefit different learners. For example, they can explain concepts using pictures, videos, discussion, or practical activities. This simple change can already make learning more accessible. I believe the goal is not to make every student learn in exactly the same way, but to make sure every student has an opportunity to understand the lesson. What about you, Alifa? Do you think teachers are responsible for adapting their teaching, or should students also learn to adapt?
I think, in my opinion, I think both teacher and student share the responsibility. Teachers should certainly create learning opportunity that suit different students because they are responsible for planning effective lesson. At the same time, students also need to put in effort by asking questions when they don't understand, participate in classroom activity, and participate independently. Learning in two-way process. If teacher are willing to support students should also be willing to cooperate and take responsibility for their own learning. I would also like to add that supporting different learning needs is not only about helping weaker students. Sometimes achieving students also need additional challenge to keep them motivated. If a teacher only focus on one student who are struggling, advanced learning may become bored and lose interest. So I believe teachers should try to support every student according to their individual needs. I pass to Aina. I really like both of your opinions. From our discussion, we can already see that supporting students with different learning needs is not an easy task, but it is definitely possible with the right strategies. Since every student learns differently, teachers need to be flexible and creative in planning their lesson. So, let's move to our first point. In my opinion, one of the most effective ways teachers can support different learning needs is by using a variety of teaching methods instead of relying on traditional lectures all the time. When teachers use only one method, such as explaining the reason why students copy notes, some students may understand well, but other students may quickly lose focus. This happens because students have different learning preferences. For example, visual learners understand visual learners understand information better through diagrams, mind maps, pictures, and videos. Auditory learners learn better through discussion and verbal explanation, while kinesthetic learners prefer practical activities where they can experience the lesson themselves. By combining different teaching approach, teachers give every student a better chance to understand the lesson. Annie, what do you think about this?
I completely agree with you, Aina. Using different teaching methods doesn't only improve understanding, but it also makes lesson more enjoyable. When students are actively involved, they become more curious and motivated to learn. For example, imagine a history lesson. Instead of asking students to memorize dates from a textbook, the teacher could show historical videos, organize role-playing activities, or divide students into groups to debate historical events. Students are more likely to remember information because they experience it rather than simply memorizing facts. Another benefit is that different teaching methods encourage students to develop other important skills such as communication, teamwork, creativity, and problem solving. These are essential skills that students need in the future workplace. However, I would like to ask both of you something. Do you think teachers should change their teaching method in every lesson?
That's a good question, Ainin. Personally, I don't think teacher need to change everything in every lesson because that would be very tiring and unrealistic. Instead, teachers should focus on making their lesson balanced. For example, they could start with a short explanation, followed by a video, then allow students to work in a group before adding the lesson with a quiz of reflection activity. The important thing is a variety. Students don't need entertainment all the time, but they do need opportunities to learn in a different way. I also think teachers should ask students for feedback. If students feel that certain activity help them understand better, teachers can continue using those methods. What do you think, Aina? Should students also be allowed to choose how they complete their assignment? That's actually a very interesting idea. I think giving students some choices can increase their motivation because they feel more involved in their own learning. For example, instead of asking every student to write an essay, teachers could allow students to choose between a short video or giving a presentation. Although the format is different, students are still demonstrating the same understanding. This approach also allows students to use their strengths. A student who enjoys drawing may express ideas through a poster, while another student who enjoys speaking may choose a presentation. Of course, teachers still need clear assessment criteria to ensure fairness.
I agree with that because learning should focus on understanding rather than forcing every student to produce exactly the same type of work. When students are given some flexibility, they often become more creative and confident. This also encourages independent teaching this also encourage independent learning because students take ownership of their work. Overall, I think using a variety of teaching methods helps create a classroom where every student has an equal opportunity to succeed.
Okay, now that we have discussed different teaching methods, I would like to move to another important strategy, which is providing individual support. No matter how effective a lesson is, there will always be a student who need additional help. Some students understand concept immediately, while others require more explanation or practice before they feel confident. Teachers should recognize this difference and provide support based on individual needs instead of expecting every student to learn at exactly the same pace. For example, if a student struggles with mathematics, the teacher can provide simple practice question first before gradually introducing more challenging problems. This allows students to build confidence step by step instead of becoming frustrated. Another important aspect is constructive feedback. Instead of simply telling students that their answers are wrong, teachers should explain their mistake and guide them on how to improve. Learning becomes more meaningful when students understand why they made mistake. Annie, what do you think about that?
I strongly agree with you. Sometimes students don't actually lack of ability. They simply need more guidance and encouragement. I have noticed that many students lose confidence because they compare themselves with their classmates. If they repeatedly receive low marks without understanding how to improve, they may start believing that they are incapable of learning. This is where teachers make a huge difference. Simple words such as good effort, you are improving, or let's work on this together can motivate students to keep trying. Also, teachers should celebrate progress instead of focusing only on perfect result. I would like to ask Aina something. Do you think giving extra attention to weaker students is fair to students who perform well?
Thank you, Annie. That's an excellent question. Personally, I think fairness doesn't always mean treating everyone exactly the same. Instead, fairness means giving each student what they need to succeed. For example, if one student has difficulty reading, providing additional reading support is not giving them an unfair advantage. It is helping them reach the same learning goals as everyone else. At the same time, teachers should also challenge high-performing students by providing achievement activity and leadership of sorry. At the same time, teachers should also challenge high-performing students by providing encouragement activities, leadership opportunities, or more complex projects. That prevents them from becoming bored while allowing the teachers to support students who need more assistance. In other words, every student deserves attention, but the type of support may be different depending on their needs. I strongly agree with your explanation, Aina. Okay, I also think teachers should regularly monitor student progress instead of waiting until examination results are released. By identifying learning difficult early, teacher can provide support before students fall too far behind. This prevents small learning problem from becoming much bigger challenging later on. Ultimately, every student deserves to feel that their teacher believes in their potential. We'll discuss how teachers can use different teaching methods and provide individual support. However, I think these strategies alone are not enough if students don't feel comfortable in the classroom. In my opinion, teachers should create an inclusive and supportive classroom environment where every student feels respected, accepted, and encouraged to participate. Learning is not only about academic achievement but also students' emotional well-being. When students feel safe and valued, they are more willing to ask questions, express their opinions, and learn from their mistakes. For example, some students may hesitate to answer questions because they are afraid of being laughed if they give the wrong answer. If teachers can create a classroom culture where mistakes are seen as opportunities to learn rather than failures, students will become more confident and actively participate in discussions. What do both of you think? Do you agree that the classroom environment affects students' learning? Yes, I completely agree with Aina. In my opinion, I think students cannot perform their best if they constantly feel anxious or excluded. A positive classroom environment helps students develop confidence, communication skill, and a sense of belonging. Teachers should encourage respect among classmates and make it clear that everyone deserves to be treated equally regardless of their academic performance, race, religion, or learning abilities. For example, a teacher can establish simple classroom rules such as listening when someone is speaking, respecting different opinions, and avoiding negative comment. This small action create a more welcoming atmosphere for everyone. I also think teachers should encourage students to appreciate diversity. Every student has different talents. Some may be excellent in mathematics, while others may be talented in art, sport, music, or public speaking. Teachers should recognize this difference and remind students that success come in many forms. Annie, what your opinions on this?
I agree with both of you. I think one of the best ways to create an inclusive classroom is through cooperative learning. Instead of allowing students to work only with their close friends, teachers can divide them into mixed ability groups. This allows students to learn from one another. Stronger students can explain concepts to those who need more help, while weaker students gain confidence because they receive support from their classmates rather than feeling isolated. At the same time, stronger students also benefit because teaching someone else helps them understand the topic more deeply. However, I have one concern. Sometimes stronger students feel that they are doing most of their work during group projects.
That's a very valid concern. I think this usually happens when teachers don't assign clear responsibilities to each group member. To solve this problem, teachers should assign different roles within each group. For example, one student can become the discussion leader, another can record ideas, another can prepare the presentation, while another member can conduct research. This ensures that every student contributes according to their ability and no one feels overburdened. Teachers should also monitor group discussion instead of assuming that all students are participating equally. I completely agree with you, Aina. Besides group work, teachers should also pay attention to students who rarely participate in class. For example, athlete. Sometimes quiet students are not shy because they don't know the answer. They may simply lack confidence or feel nervous about speaking in front of others. Teachers can encourage these students by asking simple questions first or allowing them to discuss with a partner before sharing their ideas with the whole class. Over time, this gradual encouragement can help students become more confident speaker. Is it true, Aileen?
Yes, that's true, Alifa. I also think teachers should take bullying very seriously, especially if students are bullied because of their learning difficulties or disabilities. Imagine a student who struggle with reading being laughed at every time they read aloud. Eventually, the student may stop trying altogether because they are afraid of being embarrassed. Teachers should intervene immediately whenever bullying occurs. They should educate students about empathy, respect, and kindness so that everyone feels emotionally safe at school. How do you think?
Exactly. Academic success is important, but students' mental and emotional well-being should never be ignored. A supportive classroom allows students to take risks, make mistakes, and continue learning without fear. Okay, next moving to our next point. I believe technology has become one of the most powerful tools for supporting students with different learning needs. Today, students grow up using technology almost every day. If teachers use technology wisely, learning can become more interactive, flexible, and accessible. For example, instead of explaining difficult concept only through textbook, teacher can use educational video, animation, education simulation, interactive quizzes such as quizzes, Kahoot, and online learning platform. This research made abstract concept easier to understand because students can actually see how something works rather than simply imagining it. What do both of you think? Has technology made learning more effective? What do you think, Aini?
Yes, definitely. Technology allows students to learn at their own pace. For example, if a student doesn't understand a lesson during class, they can watch record lessons again at home until they fully understand the topic. This is especially helpful because not every student learns at the same speed. Another advantage is accessibility. Students with visual impairments can use screen readers, while students with hearing impairments can benefit from subtitles or sign language videos. Students with reading difficulties can use text to speech software, and these technological tools allow students to participate more independently without relying on teachers or classmates.
I agree. Besides accessibility, technology also encourage independent learning. Instead of depending entirely on teachers, students can search for additional information, complete online exercise, watch educational tutorials, or use AI learning platforms to revise difficult topics. This helps students become lifelong learners because they uh, develop the habit of finding information independently. However, I'd like to ask both of you something. Do you think there are any disadvantage to using too much technology in the classroom? Yes, definitely, Aina. Although technology offers many benefits, excessive use may also create problems. Some students become distracted by social media, online games, or entertainment website during listen. Instead of focusing on learning, they may spend their time checking notification or watching unrelated video. Another challenge is that not every student has equal access to digital device or stable internet connection. If teacher rely too heavily on online learning, students from lower income family may be disadvantaged. What do you think?
I'm agree with your opinion, Alifa. Technology should support teaching, not replace teachers. No matter how advanced technology becomes, students still need teachers for guidance, encouragement, and emotional support. For example, AI can explain a mathematics question, but it cannot understand a student's emotions or motivate a student who has lost confidence after failing an exam. After failing an exam. Teachers also teach important values such as responsibility, teamwork, respect, and empathy, which cannot be learned through technology alone. How about you, Aina?
That's a very important point. I think the best approach is to combine traditional teaching with modern technology. Teachers should use technology only when it genuinely improves learning instead of using it simply because it is available. When used wisely, technology becomes a valuable tool tool that helps teachers meet the needs of different learners without replacing the human connection between teachers and students.
We have discussed the importance of teaching methods, individual support, creating an inclusive classroom, and using technology. However, I think there is another important factor that we shouldn't overlook, which is communication between teachers and parents. In my opinion, students achieve better learning outcomes when teachers and parents work together. Teachers only see students for a few hours each day, while parents observe their children's behavior, emotions, and study habits at home. By sharing information, both sides can understand the student's needs more clearly. For example, if a student suddenly becomes quiet and start performing poorly in class, the teacher may not know the reason. After talking to the parents, the teacher might discover that the student is experiencing family problems or having difficulty adjusting to a new environment. Once the teacher understands the situation, they can provide appropriate emotional and academic support instead of assuming that the student is simply lazy. Therefore, regular communication helps teacher respond to students' needs more effectively. What do both of you think about this?
Okay, I completely agree with your opinion, Aileen. I think communication between teacher and parent create consistency in a student learning. When parents know what their children are learning at school, they can continue supporting that learning at home. For instance, if a teacher notice that a student struggle with a reading comprehension, the teacher can suggest simple reading activity for parents to do with their child at home. This allows the student to receive support in both environment instead of only during hours. Besides academic matters, teachers can also communicate about student attitude, attendance, social behavior, and emotional development. These aspects are equally by many factors beyond examination result. What do you think, Aina? I agree with both of you. Nowadays, communication has become much easier because teachers can use emails, messaging applications, school portals, or online meeting to update parents about their children's progress. However, I would like to ask both of you something. Some parents are very busy with work or rarely attend school meeting. How can teachers maintain good communication with these parents?
Such a good question, Aina. I don't think teachers should expect every parent to attend every meeting because many parents have demanding work schedules. Instead, teachers should be flexible. They can send short progress updates through messaging application, emails, or phone calls whenever necessary. Even a even a brief message informing parents about their child's achievement or areas that need improvement can strengthen the relationship between home and school. I also believe that communication shouldn't only happen when students have problems. Teachers should also contact parents to share positive news such as improvement in behavior or academic performance. This helps build trust and encourage parents to remain involved in their children's education.
That's a very good point, Aileen. Sometimes parents only receive phone calls when something goes wrong with their children. So they may associate communication from teachers with a negative issue. If teacher also celebrate student achievement with parents, it create a more positive partnership. In addition, school can organize workshop or parenting program to help parents understand different learning needs. Some parents may not know how to support children with learning difficult at home. Uh, this these programs can provide a practical strategy that parents can use in everyday life. When teachers and parents share the same goals, students receive continuous encouragement both inside and outside the classroom. I agree. Ultimately, education is a shared responsibility. Teachers, parents, and students all have important roles to play. Strong communication ensures that everyone works together to support the students' academic success and personal development. Um, we had a very meaningful discussion today, and I think we've shared many valuable ideas. Throughout our discussion, we agreed that teachers play a significant role in supporting students with different learning needs. Since every student learns differently, teachers need to be flexible and adapt their teaching instead of expecting every student to learn in the same way. We discusses how using a variety of teaching methods allows students with different learning styles to understand, listen more effectively. We also agreed that providing individual support can constructive feedback help students improve at their own pace while building their confidence.
Beside that, we also talk about the importance of creating an inclusive classroom where every student feels respected, accepted, and safe to participate without fear of making mistakes. A positive classroom environment not only improves academic performance but also supports students' emotional well-being. We also agree that technology can make learning more engaging and accessible, especially for students with different abilities. However, technology should always be used wisely because it is meant to support teachers rather than replace them.
Finally, we discussed the importance of maintaining strong communication between teacher and parents. When school and family work together, students receive consistent guidance, encouragement, and support both inside and outside the classroom. Overall, supporting students with different learning needs requires cooperation, passion, creativity, and understanding. There is no single teaching strategy that works for every student, but combining different approach, teacher can create a learning experience that help every student reach their full potential. What do you think, Aina? Yes, Alifa, I agree with you. At the end of the day, education is not just about helping students achieve good grades. It is about helping every student grow academically, socially, and emotionally. Every child deserves the opportunity to learn in an environment where they feel valued, supported, and inspired to succeed. We hope our discussion has provided useful insight into how teachers can better support students with different learning needs. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you for listening. We hope you found our discussion informative and meaningful.
Thank you for everyone. Have a wonderful day.